previous class, we have studied about universal adult franchise, elections, general elections, and also about midterm elections and by elections. And we have studied about the Election Commission, which is an independent agency who conduct the free and fair elections in the country. Now, what is election campaigning? Basically, election campaigning it is an organized effort which seeks to influence the decision-making process within a specific group. There are different methods of campaigning. A candidate can deliver speeches before large masses, organize rallies, and conduct door-to-door campaign to seek votes. He or she can utilize the audiovisual means of campaigning by composing jingles that praise his or her party and talk about the party and its achievements. She can also put up the poster bearing his or her image and name and describing in some detail the kind of work he or she proposes to do. A candidate can also lend support to some charitable or social events being organized in his or her constituency so that people can recognize him or more and know about his or her achievement. During campaigning, a candidate makes every voter living in his or her constituency feel special and important so that he or she votes for him or her during elections. Campaigning starts just 48 hours before polling. Political parties. A political party is an organized group of people who have common ideals and goals. They create awareness among the people regarding various issues and problems. They help in generating the public opinion. In a democracy, the political parties it plays a very important role. Like I have said, they create awareness and they generate the public opinion. They take part in the election process through their candidates from various constituencies. After the election, these political parties form the government. If we talk about the political parties, they use the different means of communication like television, newspaper, magazine, pamphlets to educate the people about the various important issues. Before the election, each political party brings out an election manifesto which clearly maintains the policies and ideals that the party believes in. It also lists the objective of the political party, its goal, and a summary of various measures it will take for the welfare of the people once it comes to power. The election process. When the Election Commission announces the date of the elections and prepares the voters list, all adult citizens of the country who are eligible to vote have their names in the voters list. For election process, the country is divided into small regions with approximately same number of voters called constituencies. From each constituency, one representative to the parliament is elected. For each seat of a constituency, two or more people, called the candidates contest. A candidate getting the higher number of votes gets elected. Each person in the voters list has a photo identity card which he or she carries to the polling booth to cast his or her vote. The candidates may belong to a political party or are independent candidate who do not belong to any political party. Any candidate wanting to contest elections has to file his or her nomination papers declaring his or her wealth and assets. The nomination papers are thoroughly checked by the returning officer who is appointed by the Election Commission to ensure that election takes place in smooth manner. After the commission approves the nomination papers, a candidate starts the process of winning over the support of all the voters living in his or her constituency. This process is called campaigning as I have explained earlier. Each candidate contesting elections gets a symbol against his or her name which is given by the Election Commission. Independent candidates also get election symbols. People can identify a candidate and his or her political party through the election symbols. Country India, elections are held on the basis of secret ballot, which means that voting is secret process. People are expected to vote using their own judgment and they have the right to keep their choice secret. Nobody can force a person to vote for one particular candidate. On the day of elections, people go to the polling booths to cast their vote. The returning officer and other officers are appointed by the Election Commission to ensure that polling takes place in a free and fair manner. People who want to cast their votes are required to stand in a queue. A large number of police personnel can also be seen in polling booths so that people are allowed to vote according to their own choice and nobody can threaten them to vote for a particular candidate. In India, presently, use of electronic voting machine, that is EVM, is to cast their votes, are used by the people. These machines display the names and election symbols of all the candidates contesting from a particular constituency, and a button is placed alongside each name. The voter's index finger is marked with indelible ink after identification, and he or she has to press the correct button to register his or her vote. Each citizen is allowed only one vote. After elections, the votes are counted and the party getting the majority forms the government. Sometimes one party does not get a majority. In such case, two or more parties come together to form a coalition government. The opposition. After elections, the party that are not a part of government form the opposition. Basically, the opposition also plays an important role in a democracy. There are three things which opposition is the responsibility of opposition to take care. Firstly, it monitors the function of the ruling party and ensures that it does not misuse the power, and it does not allow the government to become dictatorial. Third, it highlights the various challenges before the government so that public opinion can be generated. Different party systems. As you can see, there are three kinds of party systems which exist. One party or single party system, two party or bi-party system, and the third one is multi-party systems. In some countries, only one political party exists. It is called as one party system. In such system, the voters really do not have much choice as all the candidates belong to one single party. One party system is not desirable as the single party might become dictatorial. So one party system is currently exist in China. Some other countries like Japan and USA have a two-party, also called bi-party system. After elections, one party forms the government and the other party forms the opposition. In a two-party system, the voters have less but clear choices. Moreover, as both parties are aware that they can work hard to look after the welfare of the people and win their support. In countries like India, Pakistan, Canada, and Australia, there are many political parties. Voters have a wide choice and they can choose from several candidates belonging to different parties. This is called a multi-party system. There is a disadvantage of this party system, that is, numerous political parties claim to represent the aspirations of different sections of the people, so the voters are often get confused. Political parties in India. If we talk about our country India, it has a multi-party system. There are two kinds of parties exist, that is national parties and regional parties. The national parties are those parties that have their presence all over India. For example, Indian National Congress, Bharatiya Janata Party, and Communist Party of India are examples of national parties. There are some parties that work only at the state level. They are called the regional parties. Bahujan Samaj Party in Uttar Pradesh, Jharkhand Mukti Morcha JMM in Jharkhand, the Assam Gana Parishad AGP in Assam, the AIADMK and DMK in Tamil Nadu, the Shiv Sena in Maharashtra, the Rashtriya Janata Dal RJD and Lok Janshakti Party LJP in Bihar, and Trinamool Congress in West Bengal are some of the important regional parties in India. In our country India, regional parties play an important role. They are formed on the basis of language, caste, and even religion. These parties reflect the aspirations of the diverse group of people living in the country. Coalition government. As I have already explained that after election, when one single party does not get the win majority of the seats required to form a government, then many different parties come together to form a coalition government. Before a coalition government is formed, all the parties forming the coalition it hold a discussion to chalk out of a common minimum program. For the success of coalition government, it is very important that in spite of differences, all the members of coalition should respect the common minimum program. However, in reality, a coalition government is often caught up in the internal squabbles of its members. This greatly hampers the smooth functioning of the government. Coalition government have advantages as well as disadvantages. It takes care of the welfare of diverse group of people as the various political parties comprising it represents different sections of the society. So in a coalition government, public opinion of a larger group of people can be voiced strongly. However, coalition governments sometimes become weak and indecisive as often conflicts of interest among the various member parties occurs instead of concentrating on the governance. The ruling party spends more time in appeasing the unhappy member. In such cases, the governance takes a back seat. So that's it for today's class. Thank you.